I don't know who you are, where you're from, or what you want.
I am John Crichton.
Hi, I'm Ben Browder.
No. I'm John Crichton.
It's actually hard telling science fiction stories and keeping them comprehensible because so much is possible. When you're telling a story in television in an hour-long format or in film in a 2-hour format, what you quickly have to do is limit the possibilities. So you create a structure. Your starting point could be anything, so there's a certain amount of freedom there, but you have to be rather disciplined rather quickly in limiting your story because it can spiral off in a billion different directions and you won't know where it went. With Farscape, basically every other week there was something we didn't think we could do. That was one of the things that the writers, David Kemper, executive producer, and Ricky Manning and Justin Monja constantly did, and the creator Rocco Bannon, and Sci-Fi encouraged us to do this, to do something different. I don't know that it is going to work, Mr. Rigel. I'm just going on a gut instinct. We were constantly trying to figure out, how do we do this on a television budget? We're going to have an entire act, which is nothing but a ship imploding. Now, on film, you're going to spend 2 months doing that, and you're going to spend $20 million, $30 million doing that single act. Well, we're doing it on a television budget, and we're going to bite off more than we can chew. Now, how are we going to do that? How do we cover this? How do we cover it? Our people are in the shot. There's things falling. There's flames going everywhere. The ship is imploding. Go back to the CG. And this goes on for an entire act. How do you do that? It was nuts. It was insane. You never knew what was coming. You never knew how the schedule was going to come together. It was hard on everybody.
I am insane.
Yeah, that would have been my next guess.
Insane because of you.
A few years back, I started writing spec scripts.
That is what I do. That's what makes me me.
Because I kept reading script after script after script, and if you read enough scripts, you know, it's a personal thing, but you go, yeah, you know, how come there aren't any great scripts out there? Finding good scripts is probably the most difficult task that someone in the filmmaking business has. So at some point, I thought, well, you know, if I'm going to complain about it, I might as well go ahead and write them.
I have always wondered what could possibly go on in there.
Not a lot. I'm a guy.
I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm okay, now I got to write this thing because Claude's going to kill me if I don't write it well. Oh, God, no. Okay, then you give it to the writers, and they beat you up, and you go, but, you know, which is normally my job. My job would normally be, what in the world is this? And now I've got everybody else that you're responsible to, as well as the audience and the story. So you go on set and you go, oh, God, this is going to be a nightmare.
Yes, the explosion should make the Boodle vomit, and you can ride out on the wave of the vomit in front of the vomit.
Stark, give us a moment.
Let me say it first. Who wrote this? But I think that the actor's part in the creative process can be undervalued. It can be undervalued by Hollywood, and even to a certain degree by people involved in production. I don't think audiences undervalue actors. Here's the writer and the script, and there's the camera, there's the actor. And then you got post-production, the television, and the audience. So we're kind of in the middle of the process. And a lot of the stuff that goes on creatively filters through actors. And so they're critical. You know, will they say, well, they're going to do it with editors? Nah. Going to do it with writers? No. Going to do it with directors? Nah. But we'd love to do away with those actors because they're standing in the middle and they're a pain in the ass.
What is a pain in the ass?
Human speak, I believe, for someone irritating, stubborn, obnoxious.
Just fix the actor in post. You get really influenced by films, don't you? 2001 rattled my brain when I was a child and made me think I wanted to be an astronaut, amongst other things. Ended up being an astronaut on film instead. I think loosely based, you'd have to say that science fiction is a story which defies what we would term reality. That, you know, either magic or science, which has not already been achieved, is capable. So you're either dealing with events in faraway places, or you're dealing with magic and mystery and things like that. Watch Forrest Gump. There's elements of that which are on the border of being science fiction. You know, Forrest running through the woods carrying his buddy with the napalm going off behind him. That film and television have technology which allow normal storytelling to stretch into the science fiction-y realm. I happen to think that Forrest Gump is a fantasy, and a beautiful fantasy. It's a fantastic film, and if it was a science fiction film, it would be in my top 10. I may put it in there anyway. Why do I like Brazil? Brazil has the fantastic false ending in it. I think that it rivals Blade Runner on a level of production values. The look and the feel of it is completely unique. It's completely different. It has a lot of humor in it. I just think it's a really quirky, interesting piece of fantastical filmmaking. But what you're essentially doing when you're doing good science fiction is that you're exploring ethical and moral situations.
I'm trying to make up for the things I've done. You want to end violence? You want to serve peace? Then help me. Help yourself.
Cowardice makes me angry.
I'll deal with this. Wait! No! Who the hell do you think you're shooting at?
Yeah. The piece of technology which I find most interesting right now is the mapping of the human genome. I think there's a lot of dramatic possibilities in addition to some heavy ethical and philosophical and moral dilemmas.
I'm the original, right?
Wrong.
I'm the original. Try again, pal. Have you been messing with my stuff? That's my stuff. And you are the clone. Aaron, you can tell. You can see the difference.
No, I can't.
And I think we're going to see that. We're also going to have an entirely separate set of questions about how we discuss reproduction.
Hi.
It's difficult to scare me.
We're gonna have a baby?
I don't know, you know, you reach that point when technology starts to look like magic, and the magic starts to look godlike, and there's always godlike aliens wandering around in most science fiction universes, so